Hey guys, Czar here. Hope all is well. Trust you're having a good day and trust you're having a good week. It's Friday. We're about 1.5 minutes away from the open here on New York. It's July 19th, going into the weekend. Freaky Friday. Let's see what happens here today. Why don't we start by looking at the daily frame? Look at this, guys. This is the weakness, of course, the daily chart on the NASDAQ. We are now from the high. Guess what? Well, today we hit 5.8% down from the high. And then we have the pullback, of course, on the S&P. And now the Dow participating as well. In fact, the low of the futures session right now on the Dow. So selling off fairly significantly coming into the New York Open. We are coming close to tagging this is the 9, the 21, the 50-day moving average here. And we are below the 21 on the S&P, and still way above here, guys. So even above the 9 on the Dow. So the strongest of the three so far is in fact the Dow. Let's go over to the 1 minute charts here. The three sisters with VWAP, volume weighted average price, 2.5 standard deviations. There's VWAP in the middle of the blue line, of course. I do the same thing every day. Keep it nice and boring. And that way I don't have to think too much. I'm not just doing some kind of a random dance here. I just approach every day the same, watching price action. I react the same way to the same types of things. At least I try to. When I don't, I usually end up messing it up. And so this is what we're doing here today. All of a sudden, some fresh buying here, guys, coming in the 1 minute pre-market candle, and now the first candle of the session. We're about 35 seconds away from the first 1 minute being complete. I'll be putting you on pause, cutting out dead air, sideways grinding action, non-teaching moments, things like that. Keep it nice and tight and focusing just on where there is something to learn or a trade to be taken. Win or lose, it will be here on YouTube. Rejecting from the VWAP here on the Dow and on the S&P for now, but still 10 seconds left in this 1 minute candle. A bunch of CrowdStrike tech issues around the globe here this morning, apparently. Lots of blue screens of death. And I think that's affecting some data vendors for futures data and things like that. But so far, so good. We're okay over here. Here's the trading grid on the NASDAQ, just to show you. Pushing down a little bit here. We have an inside day so far. Bearish though, bearish body on the daily. See that there? Kind of pushing down here on the NASDAQ. Take you back to the three sisters, NASDAQ, S&P, and now the Dow, all three of them dropping. But I'm going to hold off here and not do anything here for a while. Just watching this, guys. There could be an opportunity short here since all three seem to be moving down, but I'm not going to jump on this yet. Fridays are a little bit interesting sometimes, not always. At the end of the day, guys, a setup is a setup, whether it happens on a Monday, a Friday, or any other day of the week. But I just tend to be a little more cautious here, especially during these wacky days that we've had this week. Just grinding around here, back above the open range marginally on the NASDAQ, but right at VWAP. This is no man's land around the EMAs. Nothing really interesting happening here. All three pushing up a little bit, but still inside open range here on the S&P as well. Back to the power grid. Again, range bound here on the 30-minute. Inside day on the daily. No sense of direction here this morning yet. All right, guys, pushing back down into the open range on the NASDAQ. Let's go back to the three sisters and rounding over on the S&P. Dow marching to its own drummer as usual. Bring you back here, guys, but not doing anything. I don't see anything happening here at all. All right, guys, pull back now. All right, guys, buy stop order above this wick. Stop on this candle here. You see that there? Slightly unusual setup for me. Just looking for a quick move here as we push back up above. I will sometimes, actually very often, have my stop below the low of the session here. This one is feeling a little different to me, especially as I watch this And for a moment that, here we go. So this is a push down below, a break and retest of the open range. It's looking for a small move here, guys. Only as well 60 points, not that small. Small from a relative proportion basis. Here we go. Just moving my, and I'm in, guys, and I'm in. Just like that. This could be a fairly quick trade. Three sisters very quickly. See that there? This is what I'm looking at, guys. Pushing above, VWAP, EMAs, open range, inside day, looking to flip bullish here at some point. Just playing within the range here, guys, very much using the 30-minute as permission to go either way if the lower time frame sets up with a nice orderly setup, which this is, of course, right? Failure to continue down on a break below the open range. A nice push up with a shift of sentiment here, pulling back down, retesting open range, and then back above EMAs and above the open range. This is a slightly nuanced trade for those who are newer at the Razor's Edge model. Those who have been around for a while will understand exactly what I'm doing here. Hopefully it makes sense to you. Looking for a range or zone completion here, back up again. All right, guys, came very close to hitting target here. Of course, we are rejecting for now from that zone, and just looking for that zone completion on this morning volume. Didn't get it yet, but I'm going to play it very safe here, move my stop to break even. Almost got it, not quite there. I'm at break even now, guys, willing to take a break even on this if we pull back and fail to complete the task. And there it is, guys. Got stopped out at break even, having almost hit profit target. And as some of you have asked me to do, I'm going to keep this video running to see if this was a resourceful, after the fact, of course, a resourceful decision. In other words, our price is going to continue back up and hit my profit target, or they're going to come back and hit the original stop. We'll see. I know some of you like to play that game, so I'm happy to play it with you. Here we go, guys. We'll watch this play out. I'll bring you back. And there it is, guys. So it turned out it was a good decision to move to break even. I want to make it very clear that even if prices came back to here and then hit my target, it was still the right decision for me to make as a dynamic trader in this kind of environment and trading within this nuancy range, right? Looking for the zone completion. We actually got the zone completion. It's just that my 1R target was a little bit beyond there, so I wasn't able to capitalize on it. Thanks for being here today, guys, and hopefully there'll be another trade here. Who knows? It's only 9:48. Day is still early. We're getting lots of movement the last few days, so there should be or could be another opportunity coming around the corner. Thanks again. Have an amazing one. If I don't see you, have a great weekend. Talk soon.